to the top edge of your mat. Bring your hands together at your heart. Laugh for me and with me, please. So that you can find the humor inside. And as you are breathing into that connection of you, that you can restore the faith that you hold for your own light, for the collective, for humanity as a whole. And as you stand here at the top edge of your mat, both feet on the ground, that you can feel the earth rising up to meet you. The energetic offering of being on this rock that dances on its own axis and spins around a big ball of fire with another rock spinning around it. And that there's so much more spinning around you. And if that overwhelms you, come back to this moment, this breath. And just breathe into the fact that you're part of something so much bigger and so beautiful. So we call on the highest. And we draw a circle of light and intention around our hearts, ourselves, our homes, our community, even this platform. And we remember that as we stand here, we stand in our light. And we're here to renew and recommit and to restore. Big full breath in. Breathe all the way into your belly. Imagine the breath reaching all the way to the soles of your feet, that you're breathing into the earth. And as you exhale, hug the belly and lift through the heart, lift through the crown of the head. And then inhaling in again, all the way into the belly. And just letting your awareness ground into the earth. And as you exhale, hugging into the belly, drawing the shoulders to the back and lifting through the crown of the head. One more time, inhaling, expanding all the way into the belly. Bring your awareness to ground all the way into the earth's core. And then as you exhale, feel tethered and connected, not just to this physical moment, but the energetic and at the soul level as well. Connect to your own intention that will bring you back to the seeds you're planting, that you can continue to nourish and feel that they are growing. And yes, there's times that the seeds don't grow and don't flourish, but we get to begin again. You're going to bend your knees, hinge at your hips, and just fold all the way forward. Hands touch the earth, relax the neck and jaw. Feel whatever limitations that are there, whatever tightness is there. Remember that contrast is evidence that you're alive. Hands to your shins. Inhale, lengthen the spine. And exhale, bow down. 2 more times. Knees are bent, shoulders to your back. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, bow. Inhale, prolong. And exhale, bow down. You're going to bend your knees. Bring your elbows to your thighs. Pull into the strength of you. Soften the heart. Relax the neck and jaw. Remind yourself of the journey you're on. Right? On some level, one journey is ending so that another journey can begin. And it feels out of alignment. It feels out of order. It feels unnormal to what we're used to. So we keep breathing and we keep anchoring into that truth that we're here, that we're humans, that we're given this opportunity to live, stand into the earth, inhale, rise all the way up. That we have this precious life. Lift up, reach over to the right. Exhale out, shoulders to your back. Inhale, rise, and lift up and over to the other side. Shoulders to your back. Find the length, feel the breath. Inhale, rise all the way up. Hinge at the hips, fold to the earth. Inhale, lengthen the spine, open the heart. Exhale, bow down. So feel that we even just planted a seed in that flow. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Use the muscles, hug into your system. Exhale, bow. Inhale, grow long. Exhale, bow down. Inhale, feel the length through the spine, the openness in your heart. Exhale, bow. Knees are gonna bend, elbows to your thighs, and look, you already have a chance to realign, to reaffirm. Pull into your center, allow for that strength and that connection, and then inhale, raise all the way up. Arms sweep up high, lengthen the spine, exhale over to the left, really pull into that midline, feel your own center. Inhale through the center, and exhale over to the right. Inhale, rise all the way up. Hinge the hips, bow to the earth. Inhale, grow long. So feel that space between your inner thighs all the way up to the roof of the mouth. Exhale, bow down. And in that space, in the center is the heart. Inhale, opening. Exhale, bow. Inhale, grow long again. Exhale, bow down. Knees bend, elbows to your thighs. Pull into that core. Shoulders to your back. So here what we're doing is actually we're realigning and reaffirming the journey that we're on, even just on our mats. And at the same time, we're creating closure to just this beginning. So there's this continuation of cycles and transitions. And if we can realize that we're part of a more collective transition, and like you can even feel your quads are talking, continue to breathe, and you can trust in the fact that this won't last forever, that the change is constant. So what are you going to ground into? Hopefully the light of your heart. Inhale, come all the way up to standing. Exhale to one side. Just trust the side you want to move to. Inhale up to the center and lift up and over to the other. Inhale, rise all the way up. Exhale, return the hands to your heart. Feel the renewal and even that little baby flow. Exhale out completely from the heart center. Inhale the arms overhead. You're going to bend the elbows. Hands come back behind the head. Give a little bend to your knees. The feet are on the ground. Draw the belly in, shoulders to your back, and lift. You're going to push really fiercely, like all that strength you're engaging. You're pushing it down from the heart, giving the heart roots to anchor in. Wrap the outer hips to the tail so the pubic bone's going down as well as the tailbone. Belly goes back, shoulders draw in, lift the heart, lean back, open the chest. 3 breaths here, noticing how in this moment of surrendering and renewing, you can't breathe as deeply as you were just moments ago. So breathe into the depth that's available. Restore the faith, recommit, reconnect. Come back to that intention. It's a powerful boundary. Inhale, come upright. Arms sweep up overhead. And then exhale, hinge the hips all the way down to the earth. Bend the knees, step back with the left foot. Find your fingertips. Pull into that center. Lift through the belly, lengthen the spine. Full deep breath in and a full deep breath out. As you exhale, this is going to be a little tricky, so just bear with me. Your hands are going to come to the earth. You can go into it. Actually, let's do that. Bring the left knee to the ground. Stretch your right leg back behind you so you come into this one-legged table pose. Full breath in, full breath out. Now, you can stay in this one-legged table pose, and then you'll step the right foot through to a lunge again. Or from this one-legged table pose, pull into the center, lift up, and go into downward dog. Big full breath. It's a standing splits in your dog pose, if that's available to you. And then we'll all step the right foot through to a lunge. Shorten the stance and root the back heel. Push into the earth. Inhale, warrior one. Feel that strength and that solidity of just dancing on your own mat, being with your breath, coming back to what you value, what's the foundation you're standing upon and want to continue to build with. Exhale the hands all the way down to the earth. Step it forward and bow. Inhale, lengthen the spine, open the heart. Exhale, fold over. Push the feet to the earth Hands are going to come back behind the head, shoulders to your back, push into the ground. Micro bend the knees so you really feel a lift in the core. Shoulders, our armpits are pulling back, plugging in. No need to over effort, but just feel that your effort is creating fulfillment. Lengthen the spine, open the heart. 3 breaths here. Allow for the breath to help realign you. Trust in your own inner guidance. You hold authority. Inhale, arms rise up, hinge at the hips, bow all the way to the earth. Knees bend, right foot goes back. So you're just here in this high lunge, but hands are on the earth or blocks. Pull the strength of the legs together. Lengthen the spine, open the heart. Feel the power of your breath. And so you can go knee down and step the leg back, right? Or you push into the earth. Left leg goes straight up to the sky. So the intention here is to feel that our foundation doesn't feel super steady. However, we can hold that steadiness for ourselves in our own vision and from the experiences of the heart. So that standing splits here. And then exhale. Even from that table pose, you may have to swing the leg around, but bring the left foot forward, right knee lifts, root the heel, ground into the earth. So hug the outer hips, shoulders to your back. Inhale, rise all the way up. Warrior 1. Doing Warrior 1 this early is really intense, so realize that. Full breath in. And then exhale, hands to the earth. Draw into the core. So draw into the core of you, the essence, not just the physiological core, but the core of your essence. Exhale, bow. Hands come back behind the head, shoulders to your back, little bend into the knees, hug into the midline. Inhale, feel that power to be able to rise. Big full breath in. Arms reach up overhead. Exhale, bow all the way down. Bend the knees. Left foot goes back. Find the strength. You can stay here or inhale up into this high lunge. Big, gracious breath in. You can bring the hands down or slowly surrender all the way down to the earth. Low lunge. Hands come back behind the head. Core draws in, shoulders draw in. Lift the heart. You're not dumping down. You're pulling into your midline, opening the chest up. Deep breath in. Exhale. Hands to the earth. Again, go for this table pose, and if you're up for more of a challenge, one hand, one foot. Otherwise, go straight back, 3-legged dog. Right? Playing with the foundation to feel connected, that we won't lose sight of what matters to us, and we make our health and healing a priority. Step the right foot forward, and then as you inhale, you're going to bend the back knee and stretch the hips back. Feel the power of your breath. Feel that the challenge is just in being able to stay aligned with all the transitions. And then you're going to lunge forward, shorten the stance, root the back heel, and inhale, straighten the front leg. Watch the hips. They tend to swing out to the right. So you want to lean forward. You want to stay heavy in the right foot, because when we push into the back foot, the hips then swing the other way, and the right hip drops. So equal weight down into the feet, down into the earth. Lift through the belly, soften the heart. Exhale, lunge forward, step it forward, fold, bow. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Notice the duality in the two sides. It's subtle, but it's powerful. Bow to the earth. Hands to heart center, shoulders to your back. Inhale, rise. Stand tall. Feel that length. Feel the connection that you could lean into here, but honor the connection with yourself. Inhale, arms sweep overhead. Exhale, hinge at the hips. Bow all the way to the earth. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Left foot goes back, right foot goes back. So left foot's forward, heels under the knee. Really watch this alignment here. Watch the traction. There can be a tendency to be here. This does nobody good, right? It's just a sign that you're all in your head. Come back into your body. Pull into that strength, right? The alignment holds us accountable. And that accountability is so important right now. So stay here. Meet yourself where you are, where you need to be, right? Because then you can just come down here with the rest of us. You can also be here and inhale. Whew, high lunge. I tricked my body because I went to the earth first. So pull into that center, find that length, draw into the core, and then slowly, you gotta really keep the internal rotation in your back leg as you lower the knee to the ground, elbows bend, lift the heart, lift the chest. Big full breath in. And then exhale. Hands to the earth, okay? Table pose, one leg, one arm, or straight up and back, downward dog. Full breath in, full breath out. Exhale, step the foot through to a lunge. You're gonna bend the back knee just enough so you can feel grounded to the earth, connected to the moment you're in. Pull into the belly and then the hips stretch back. I'm getting a clear message not to go any further than this. And my front knee is very bent, but I feel a very powerful connection from this part of my hamstring, right? That caused an injury in this part of my hamstring. So I'm being mindful because I don't want that to come back at all. And then lunge forward, shorten the stance, root the heel. And that's what this journey is about, is like, what lessons have we learned? What lessons have come forward? And are we really willing to make the change? I mean, think about how many people right now are like, I don't want to change, I don't want to change. But we have to. We are constantly evolving. Draw into the belly. So level out the hips. Watch the tendency to bring too much weight into the front foot and the hips swing out to the left. And watch the tendency to drop into the back foot and the hip swing out to the right. Your sacral area is sacred. So draw and feel a level energy, especially when you're in this moment of intensity. Let the head relax, neck, jaw. Exhale, lunge forward, step it forward and bow. Inhale, lengthen the spine, open the heart. Exhale, fold. Hands to the heart center. Shoulders to your back. So micro bend the knees so you can feel the power in your legs. If you're hyperextending your legs and come up, A, you're agitating the hamstrings because you're in the joints. But B, you're making yourself a vulnerable in one of those like non-healthy moments of vulnerability. So knees bend. Right? I should ask Brene Brown, can you do a talk on healthy vulnerability and non-healthy vulnerability? Shoulders to your back, inhale, rise all the way up. Arms sweep up high, big full breath in. And exhale, hands come to heart center. Be with your breath. Feel the shift that's happening within you. Come on. I'm going to be a little straight up right now. We could stop now. And this practice would hold so much benefit to us. It's something I have to remind myself over and over again, is it doesn't have to be this big grand practice. It can be just enough. And sometimes that just enough practice is all we need to remind us that we are enough. Because so much shifts, especially when you come to this practice again and again and again, it brings us back to that center. So from that sense of having our faith restored, we can breathe a little more deeply, lengthen the spine, open the heart, exhale into the hips all the way forward. Touch the hands to the earth, step it back, downward dog, and notice the sweet joy that comes by just being in good old-fashioned Adho Mukha Svanasana. Push your hands strong through the fingertips. Watch the hands from rolling up. This is not going to be of service to anyone. And actually, it's just going to be a disservice to everyone because you're going to hurt and then you're going to be grumpy. So push through the inner edges of the hands. Lift through the core. Lengthen through the spine. And then inhale, come forward into a plank pose. Deep full breath in. Bend the knees. Pull the hips back. So you're going to keep your knees bent, belly lifted. Keep the knees bent, right leg goes to the sky. Full breath in. Circle the ankle around, wiggle the toes out. Right knee comes to your wrist, your choice. You can stay upright, you can do a thigh twist, a thigh twist. A thigh twist, by the way, would look like this. Okay? You can go for that thigh stretch twist. You can also just do a thigh stretch. Just tune in for a moment, like what's gonna restore you, right? The thigh stretch twist felt really good to me, but I know the energy I've been facing within my own self that I'm not gonna push myself right now. I'm gonna give myself the moment to regroup, reclaim, and return. Remember, there's also this variation, this mini pigeon pose variation that makes it doable from a table pose or downward dog. And you come here and you come back to that place of like, oh yeah, the renewal. I'm learning my lessons. I'm learning how much I tend to be hard on myself. I'm learning how much I can be overly analytical and judgmental. I mean, come on, those are actually blanket statements that we're all experiencing right now. Deep breath in, deep breath out, and then we're gonna climb up, okay? If you're in a mini pigeon pose, I recommend climbing up through the table and come to the one-legged, okay? That's a lot of stuff on the knees, I realize. So find your journey. Back knee's gonna lift, draw into the belly. The knee stays bent, okay? So even if you were in a table pose, the knee is bent. Pull into the center. Find that strength. Foot's alive. Imagine you could feel yourself receiving the foundational support that comes from the heavens above. Because it's there for all of us, even if we want to believe it's not. And then exhale. Step the foot through to a lunge. Shorten the stance. Root the back heel. Wrap the hips. Bend the front knee. Inhale, rise up. I gotta put my hair up. Lengthen through the spine. And as the spine grows long, feel that connection to your own ability to remain strong, connected, plugged in. Full deep inhale in. And then front leg straightens. Thighs are moving back. Hips are even. So here, feel that micro movement. Hold yourself accountable. How can you stay in that optimal connection to your own intention and your own truth? Come all the way into this very humbling moment of Parsvottanasana. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. And then you're going to exhale, lunge, and we're going to pivot. Heel toe the feet further apart, wide-legged forward bend. Hopefully it's like, oh my gosh, this feels amazing. We've done so much to open up the back line of the body. Feel the inner lines. Allow yourself to find that expression that serves you. Inhale, grow long through the spine. Bend the knees. You're going to spin all the way around. Back knee to the earth. Pull the legs together. Inhale. Low lunge. How many low lunges have we done? This is only the second one, right? Pull into that center. Find that length. Now, hands can stay overhead. You can bend the elbows and open, or you can even bring the hands to the low back, rise up, or clasp the hands. Shoulders to your back. Lift the heart. Open up. Breathe into this energy of the heart without losing respect for the low back in your legs. Don't get caught up in the false sense of yourself that you're pushing yourself into a big expression that is non-harmonious, but rather breathe into your true self and recognize that some cycles and seasons in our life we are healing, and some cycles and seasons we're forging ahead. Big deep breath in. And then exhale, free the hands. We're gonna tuck the back toes, lift up. Again, table pose, one leg, or a one-legged dog pose. Big full breath in. This time, open the hip up. without dropping on that left side. Create the container that you can expand into. No boundary, no faith. We lose boundaries, we lose the ability to believe in the potential of justice, peace, love, harmony, all those things that yoga, in any really area that holds spirit as the highest guide for all of us. Both feet to the earth, good old dog pose. Inhale, plank. Exhale, move back, downward dog. Bend both knees, so feel the connection to your center again. Left leg lifts, you're just pushing through the inner thigh, even in a table pose, right? Pushing up through the inner thigh, and you feel the strength through that leg. Watch the dropping that will happen on the right outer hip. Draw that outer hip back. Stay lifted through the core, clear in the heart. What are the hands doing? Ground into it. Feel that connection that's supporting you. Knee to your wrist. Pigeon. Right, so you can do the thigh twist move. You can do regular thigh stretch move. You can stay upright, or you can come all the way to the earth. Right? That's why I've had people say, I just can't do the screen anymore, this virtual yoga thing, and I don't do it unless I'm live. We're just all being asked to find a home practice and not find our yoga the way we used to. We have to find it in new ways and different ways. Believe me, I miss the old ways. 2012, 13, really 2011 prepared me for adapting and growing and learning from having to let go of what was so beautiful and so amazing and so strong. That obviously that wasn't with the highest of integrity, and I had to grow and shift and change. And so I did. And so we're just being asked to do it again. Exhale out completely, but what we can do is learn from those moments. Inhale, rise up. That, hey, look, we're still here. We're still going. I tell you right now, it sucked. Pull into the center. It sucked for my ego probably more than anything. Pull into that center. And so from pigeon pose, you can go into that table, right? Back knee's gonna lift. You're gonna bend both knees, right? So you can just feel that connection. When we kind of lock out into our joints, we can't use our muscles. We also can't, when we get so kind of dead set on it being a certain way, we gotta let everything come together and work for the whole. The back leg is still internally rotated. Hug the leg to the midline, lift through the inner thigh. Feel what's going on even in the shoulders. Soften the heart. It's really wild. I still cannot hear in my right ear. And my experience, fortunately I don't have any pressure in my head. I've been battling an ear infection. And, I just had a major insight. But it's just changing the whole experience I'm having internally. So sorry you had to hold this for a long time. Hopefully you have moments of major insight on your mat as well. Exhale, step the foot through it to a lunge. Say thank you, Teresa. Shorten the stance, ground the back heel. Feel that strength. Belly, shoulders, arms. Feel the volume of just you, right? So I shared with somebody sometimes when life challenges me, I get on my mat and I get really competitive with the practice. I get sort of like, ooh, how far can I go? But honestly, none of the poses we do are really inaccessible unless you can't move your body, which makes yoga itself fairly inaccessible. So find the gesture of your arms that supports you, and you meet yourself where you are. Draw into the belly, open the heart, feel the connection. And that competitiveness that I hold is all self-competitive. And if you're watching this
it's probably you too, because, well, we tend to hang out with people who get our perspective of life. And it's really that kind of proving to myself that I can endure and rise again is how I restore faith. I can't say it's 100% healthy, so just check in with yourself too. So you're gonna feel this lift, the openness in the heart. Thighs move back, front leg goes straight, heart opens, you're gonna bow, free the hands to the earth, and fold. Enjoy your breath. Right, we've been in this kind of repetitious cycle. And in that, we finally have this little pivot, right, that gives us a new perspective. Heel, pivot to the right, heel toe the feet apart, and exhale, bow forward. And feel, so we've been working, when I'm gonna offer a class that's grounding, especially when it's grounding in the earth energy, we tend to keep the hips really square and stay in that alignment. So as we're here and the feet are wide, soften the heart, relax the neck and jaw. Big full breath in. And a big full breath out. Ground into the earth, lengthen the spine. By the way, your wide-legged forward bend may have been here, right? My DNA has me able to fold all the way over. Pivot back, right? Realign, and just return to the lessons you've learned so far. Back knee comes down. Pull the strength of the legs together. Draw into your center, rise up. So you gotta watch, again, that just kind of going for it, pushing for it. We don't wanna create vulnerability based on our ego, right? It's when our ego is willing to be humble that we actually gain insight into that new way of being. Find the gesture of your hands that supports you, that allows you to feel into all you need to feel to restore that faith, to renew that connection. Big full breath in, big full breath out. All of our heart openers have been standing on our 2 feet. We haven't done any on the ground. Exhale, hands all the way to the earth. Back knee's gonna lift, pull it up, pull it back. Good old downward dog. Breathe into the freedom of just being here. Hands are grounded, legs are strong, core is engaged, ribs are even pulling in. Don't be in this dog, right? Feel the connection. Use the strength that you hold. Inhale, plank. Relax through the neck and jaw. You're gonna exhale your knees to the floor. Move your feet off to the side and come seated. From that seat, I am having some very major insights with the tidal wave that has dumped over me, and it's pretty wild. So anyhow, sorry for my pauses. They're just interesting right now. Draw into the core, lengthen through the spine, lift through the roof of the mouth. Hands are gonna come back behind the knees. Find that length, find that connection to your core, not here, okay? So my hands can be here, maybe your hands are here. Find that length, enjoy your breath, stay connected. You may have just come here and you're just leaning back. We're not here picking the feet up, okay? That is really hard to do. We're leaning back, we are surrendering, and then we're finding that strength. Pull the legs together, arms by your sides, elbows bent, palms up, shoulders to the back, lift the heart. Breathe as deeply as you can without losing this connection to your container, so that your body is even having the faith restored, that your mind can actually move in to your being on a cellular level. And then exhale your feet to the ground, vertebrae by vertebrae, all the way to the earth. Head comes to the ground, let the arms go. Receive how good this ground feels.
Be in the beat of your heart. We're going to twist to the left, but you have the option to twist however you want, right? So you could cross the right leg over and twist. You could straighten the left leg and twist. You could bring the left ankle to the right thigh and twist. You could bring both knees up and in and twist. Now, if you're like, ooh, 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 I want them all. No, Of course you want them all. Go into the one that's gonna like pause, check in. Ask the wisdom of your being to guide you. This is yoga. So my guide always calls for this one. And then 3 breaths. Breathe all the way into that belly. And my hope is that even as I'm here narrating a practice, I can still have insights. I have this ability to go to this part of my brain. This is from 20 years of teaching yoga, right? And when you're a yoga teacher, you have these other conversations going on in your head. You probably have like 3 or 4 going on. Any kind of teacher, right? Not just yoga, any kind of teacher. You have like 4 or 5 conversations going on, and you know how to stay in the storyline, right? I've had to work on that too. Inhale, knees come up through the center and then roll to the other side. So my hope is that through these practices, you have insight too, that you can actually find that your yoga practice is one of the greatest intuitive practices you hold. So being asked to do yoga at home without a bunch of people, without the teacher being live in front of you, is really setting you up for success. It's giving you that opportunity to tune into your own wisdom. And yeah, you're going to see your shadows way faster. You're going to see the stuff that's calling and asking for your attention. And it's not always pretty, but we can get to the other side. Exhale. Oh, excuse me. Completely. Inhale the knees all the way back to the center. Happy baby, or just a reclined child's pose, or you know my favorite by now, and if you don't, this is one of my favorites. Hold on to your ankles, let your knees go, let your jaw go. So we only did 2 real things. Like if you're not even doing happy baby or this one right now, you're not going to feel it. But we really didn't do much to get into the inner thigh. We focused on the back line of the legs, the outer line of the legs, and the front line of the legs, okay? So what we're doing is we're actually feeling the connection to the container. So even in this moment, we can actually allow for the cleansing, the healing, the renewing, the restoring to happen. Bring the knees together, feet come to the ground. Settle completely and then walk the legs out long. Right? Just a practice where we can practice staying in our lane. Once you come to the earth for Shavasana, feel the power of your breath 3 to 5 times into the belly. Okay? So into this space here that we tend to have a lot of shame around versus embracing. This is where the viscera, all the visceral muscles are, our gut that actually holds more power than our brain. And our heart feeds our gut, right? I really believe it's, whatever, I'm not going to go there right now. So breathe into your belly. And what do you believe? What beliefs are you restoring? Because unfortunately, if you're going to build a new infrastructure for your life, which we're all being asked to do, which is what you do when you get onto the mat, then you got to get into the roots and the foundation and look at what you're going to carry with you. And as you carry it with you, what are you going to actually restore and renew so that you can build upon? So if there's a crack in the foundation, you don't ignore the crack. You tend to it. And you ask for help when necessary. And after that last breath, just settle. Feel everything that's touching the earth. Notice the feeling of the earth beneath you. Under your feet, under your calves, under your buns, your arms, the back of your head. Feel held. Allow for the yawn, allow for the sigh. Notice how perhaps your view of your own intention has shifted and you have new insights, new awareness. Enjoy a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Yeah. Enjoy the interruptions of life, because they are many. And as you breathe, feel that return. The restoring of your faith, that there's so much that loves you and cares for you. Just as you are. Stretch through your arms and through your feet. You're going to bend your knees. Find both feet on the ground. And you're going to roll over to one side. Use that arm as a pillow. And then slowly come up into the comfort of your seat. And as you find the comfort of your seat, sit well. Sit well with yourself. Sit well in this renewal. Even sometimes we get kind of interrupted in trying to move forward, but that is the time of our lives right now. We're not ready for forward motion. Oh, Lord, no. It's time to sit, breathe, and continue to restore the faith. And we continue to renew the connection to our deepest intentions, to the energy of our hearts, our truth, to allow for a clearing of the pain and the wounds of our hearts that are being illuminated in a way that really is making it hard to reconnect and restore. So we continue to be creative. We continue to hold the highest as our guide. And we continue to be real and true and mindful, conscious of our ways that we choose to engage. And so I engage with the light that's in me, and hopefully we can all welcome the light together. So namaste, and so it is.
So, life is full of interruptions. Thank you to my sweet boy who asked permission to watch TV, which I'm really grateful for. Although, it's all good. And in that goodness, I hope you guys are well as well and good. And, you know, we all need one another. I know that I need you guys too. You can watch these. You don't have to watch these. I'll keep offering them, even if I just do it for myself, right? So much love, and wherever you are and however you are, may you continue to turn into the ways of how you can restore the faith and hope. I'm so glad you had insights. Mine are really interesting, and actually is really interesting. I'll just save them for myself. I gotta reflect on them more, but it actually has to do with the story I told about that humility around 2011 and this dang ear infection. That's when they started. Okay, bye.